Welcome. This is Naz, and today we are building a startup landing page with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. It's a startup landing page worth over $10,000, and what this means is you can essentially charge over $10K for a project like this, right? This is brought to you by a company called Frontend Mentor. You guys can go ahead and check it out. We have the link down below in the description if you want to check out and get all the design files from them, right? Amazing company if you want to build amazing projects and get amazing design ideas. But here's the project we're going to build, right? This is a startup company, looks like, right? We have, for example, things like the header right here. We have things like different little sections. We're going to be using a lot of advanced CSS topics like Flexbox, of course. And also we're going to be talking about, well, how do you structure your website properly? And how do you make sure that it's mobile friendly as well, right? So a lot of things are gonna be covered today, right? If you're a beginner, this is a great entrance for you, and of course you can include this project on your portfolio as well. But that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get started, my friends. Like I said, all I want to say is welcome to everybody here on YouTube. We are building a startup landing page that looks beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. I like to play some music in the background while we're coding. Is everybody okay with that? Hopefully you guys are okay with that. But at this point, a few things I want you to go ahead and get started. First things first, let's go ahead and open up a new VS Code. So you should have VS Code open now at this point. Oh, if you don't, do that. And let's go ahead and do new window. File, new window. Great. So file, new window. There we go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new project here. Let's go to projects, and I'm going to do a new folder. I'm going to call it a landing page. Landing-page right here. Okay, landing page. Beautiful. And within this project, it's just going to be an empty folder. I don't need to do anything with this one. I'm actually just going to open up this folder in VS Code, all right? So let's do that right now. So I'm going to say VS Code, click open. And again, try your best to go with me. If you can't, no problem, right? Just watch for your pleasure and watch for to learn. Projects landing page. Great. Click open. All right, it's open right there. That's it. Beautiful. So once we have that open, the first thing I want you to do is right click and do new file. And let's call it index.html. Now, index.html is usually the HTML file that will be represented as the landing page of any project. And that's it. So we've got that. And now at this point, all I want you to do is just hit the right here. So this is called an Emmet abbreviation. And sometimes you can either do like this, to start your HTML landing page, but I'm going to put the boilerplate, I call it the boilerplate stuff, right away. So I don't have to worry about it too much, okay? So I'm going to say here, right here. Boom, look at that. It right away puts the HTML portion for you. Again, all this is just an exclamation point, and that's it, my friends, all right? Let's rename this title to be it's called Sunny Side. Sunny Side. Let's rename this title. And honestly, that is a good start for us. Now, a few things I want you to do if you are on YouTube, right? We have the images, right? If you want to download all the images for Sunny Side, you can go ahead and go to Frontend Mentor and simply just sign up. It's completely free. Sign up for Frontend Mentor and you will get all the images. The link is down below in the description. But also, we have a GitHub link for you as well. So if you want to check out the GitHub link, that also has image links in there as well. You can go ahead and check that GitHub link down below too, as well. So if it's make it easier for you, so just click on the GitHub link, and that is it, my friends. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Everybody still with me? Everybody still with me? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, beautiful. Everybody still with me. All right. Okay. Now let's take a look at how do we even get started? Well, we've got our body, right? So remember this. The head is always going to be for the head section, which is going to include some styles, the CSS, and and other things like JavaScript. So this is where we include the JavaScript portions inside here. Okay. Now for the body, however, this is where we're going to include the HTML, all right, or the actual body structure. The way I like to structure my projects is like this. I like to think about boxes. For me, it's always about boxes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this right here. Okay, and if I structure this as a box, okay, what box do you see here in this website? What boxes? If you guys know, put that in the chat. Well, the one box I see here is this box. Okay, I see maybe this box, and that this box has two boxes, which is this one box and this another box, right? Then I see another box in here that might have two boxes, which is this one box and this another box. Okay, beautiful. And then let's go back now to our banner, which is this section. Okay, and this section, how many boxes does this section have? Well, let's take a look at this. Okay, if I go ahead and hover over this, right, this whole navigation bar can be a box in itself, right? So this whole navigation bar can be a box in itself. All right, beautiful. All right, so that's a box, which is amazing. Then again, let's create more boxes. I'm doing this because remember, in HTML, everything is a box. That's why we were doing the way we're doing this. All right, sunny side, the logo is going to be a box in itself. The navigation portion is going to be a box, and then probably even the button is going to be a box in itself as well. All right, so just want you guys to understand how those come about. We're going to make weird creatives a box as well, and the same thing as this arrow right here. And that, my friends, is it. That's a good start. So what do we know now from this point on? We know the fact that we need to create a navigation bar, and we know the fact that we need to create a banner section as well. Make sense? Comprende? Good. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Number one, on the banner section, okay? On the banner section, let me go and put this to the side, just because I don't want this to the side. Let's get started on the banner section. Oh, let me go back to here. All right, so here we go. So the first things first that I want you guys to do is, well, we need to create the actual first things first is gonna be the wrapper. So we have this body. I usually like to wrap my body in a wrapper, like some kind of a wrapper, to make sure that we have the whole structure. It's like kind of like you're wrapping a gift, right? And we're gonna wrap our body. So I'm gonna say div, and remember, div is always going to be, you know, what's HTML is made up of. Div class, I'm gonna call it wrapper. Beautiful. Div class wrapper right here. Div class wrapper. Now, nothing's gonna happen here. In this wrapper, like I said, what do we have? Well, the first we're going to create is gonna be the banner section, which is going to be this section, right? That's the banner section. So let's create that div first. So we'll say div right here, class is equal to banner, right? You guys can try to keep up with me as well. All right, that's the first section I'm going to build, right? After we create the banner section, we're going to build the section for the transform your brand. So after that, I'm going to say div class is equal to section 1. Let's just say section 1 right here. You see that? Which is going to be this section. So this section 1 is just simply this section right here. All right, beautiful. After that, we're going to build another section. We're actually going to build not necessarily this section. We're going to build, actually, I'm going to focus more so on building this section because this is the same one as that one. So I'm going to focus on building this section right here. I'm going to call it div class is equal to section 2. Beautiful. Awesome. So we have these sections that are created just to get us started with something, okay? Beautiful. Inside the banner, what do we have inside the banner? Well, a few things. Well, one is we have a what? The banner is we have this, I call it the header. Okay, everybody? I'll call it the header. Okay, let's call it the header right here. So I'm going to say div class is equal to header, right? Div class is equal to header. Beautiful. Now, again, this header is going to be, again, it's this portion. The header is going to be just this portion, right? Because we want to take care of that first. Understand, everybody? Beautiful. All right. Now, let's think about what do we need to do inside the header. Well, there's a logo stuff and so forth. But I know there's a lot of stuff that we're going to put in here, but let's just put logo as a text here for now. All right, let's put that in. Let's go back to our index.html, and a few ways you can go about actually, you know, running this application. One way is you can do copy. So you can do, if you do not have live server, you can simply just do right click on index.html, do copy path. Then you can open this path inside here like this. Again, nothing happens here. You know, there's no reason that this should show anything so far. Another way, and that's a more of a complicated way, but it's very important as well, is you go to extensions here, guys. You go to live server, right? Type in live server. You click on live server. You click install, and that will install a live server for you, right? That's the way to host your applications. Next, after you've done that, all you have to do is right click and then open with live server, just like this right here. Boom. Nice. And there you go. So we have the same, the same result. It's just that, a live server is an actual server that that's gonna be hosted on our application. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Nice. Next up. That we need to work on is going to be the following. It is this. So we have the logo, the header. The header, this banner right here, right? If you guys can really figure this out, this banner is actually, the goal for this banner is to take up the whole vertical height of our page. So when we first log in, I want to make sure this banner is this full page. It's looking beautiful. I want to make sure it's a full page. So here's what I'm going to do. All right. I will go ahead and go to and create a new file called style.css. Boom. Style.css. Let me make sure I have the chat here open so we all can see here. Okay. Style.css. Inside that style.css, I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say it like this. Now this star simply means everything. This means we're going to affect everything. And I'm going to remove a lot of this dumb margin, which I don't like. Margin 0. Along with the padding. As well, 0. Okay. Let's remove this margin. Let's remove this padding. Sweet. We got that. Let's save that. Next up, index.html. All right. Now we've created the style.css, but of course now we need to import the style.css. So I'm going to do link href. So I'm going to say like this. Link. Boom. But what you can do is if you just type in link, you see you're given a few options. You can do link CSS just like this, and it will actually auto-complete it for you inside VS Code. Very useful. And look, it even did style.css for me right here because I know style.css is right here. So it's basically like doing the code by itself here. Let's go ahead and save that. Beautiful. After that, inside the style.css, which is right here, I'm going to do .banner. Now, what am I going to do with this .banner? Well, one, I'm going to give it a background color here. Let's just give it orange for now. Or let's just say give it a blue. Okay, let's see. Save that. So there we go, right? We have the banner, which is right here. I'll remove this for now. Which is right here, this banner right here. That's blue. But I want this whole banner, which is this section, to be the full width, the full height. So I'm going to say height is equal to 100 VH. And what 100 VH stands for, guys, if you do not know, 100 VH stands for 100 vertical height, 100 VH. So it's the 100 vertical height of the whole browser. So if I save this, look what happened right there. See? It just turned the whole browser, right? The whole browser now is 100 VH, which is perfect. Okay, great. Awesome. Now, of course, now our background color is blue, but really what we want is not the blue. We actually want the background color to be this image. You see this? Everybody see this image? Everybody? Yeah? Everybody see this image? Beautiful, right? So it's this image that we want to actually make sure that it's there. All right. Now, let's make sure that that happens. Well, the image is actually, I'm going to show you where it is. If I go to my GitHub thing, right, which is, again, linked down below, or if you go to Frontend Mentor, you can download it from there right away, right? Again, if you just go to Frontend Mentor, you can just simply just visit the page like this and just do everything from this side. But if you're on the GitHub, you can do that too. So let's go to banner. Let's copy our link for the banner, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say background image. And I will say URL, not IRL, but URL. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to give it put it into quotes. And here's the background image URL. All right, so save that. And let's see what happens. It's not just a bunch of blue. Okay. Well, reason being is because this whole banner is very big. So what I want to do in this case is the following. I'm going to say say it like this. I'm going to say background position. I'm going to position it in the center. Boom. Boom. You see, now it's positioned in the center, vertically, horizontally, right? Background size. I'm going to say backgrounds. After that, I'm going to say background size is equal to cover. Save that. Okay, awesome, sweet. So that's looking pretty good, right? And then I'm going to say the following, right? I want this whole image to actually be more so centered horizontally, but also on the vertical side be all the way at the bottom. That's kind of how I want to make sure that that works out. So I'm going to say background position. If I go to background position, guys, and the documentation of background position, you will see that the way it works is the following. The first portion, we can say, for example, see, I can do top, bottom, or I can say like this, top right or top bottom. So for example, I can say center and then I can say bottom for the vertical positioning. Let me go to here. So that's pretty much the bottom, right? It's top, bottom, center, bottom. Save that. Beautiful. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking the way it's turned out so far. All right. Once we have the banner, let's go ahead and now create the actual header logo. So the header, right? Inside this header, of course, what we want to do is we want to, one is create the logo. So I'm going to say image class is equal to, right? Logo. And I'm going to give it a source, right? Where's the source of this image, right? I'm going to close this out. Again, if you go back to the GitHub page, guys, the logo is right here, okay? The SVG. Logo's right here, guys, okay? Beautiful. Let's go back to our application. And I'm going to give it a source right here of this SVG, all right? Beautiful. Nice. All right, that looks looking pretty good. I'm liking the way it is. And that's it, okay? I'm going to make sure that you guys can actually hear wrapping. Word wrap right there, right? So you guys can see it's wrapping actually the actual text, okay? Beautiful. After the image logo, if I save this, where's our image logo? It's right there. But you see, again, it's not nicely structured. It's just kind of there. Don't worry about it. We're not going to focus on it just yet. I want to now create the second box, which is going to be the which one? Just going to be the right here, right? It's going to be this box, which is the menu right here. So I want to create now this menu. So let's do that. So inside the header, because we're still inside the header, guys, right? I'm going to say div class is equal to what? Is equal to, anybody know? What would I say here? What do you guys think? I will say here, what is it? What can I say? Anybody know? I can say nav. I can say menu as well. Menu. Okay? Nice. But you can say nav as well. Inside this nav, I'm going to give it a few p tags. I'm going to say p tag. Or actually, better yet, I'm just going to give it a span tag. Span tag, right? And I'm gonna give it a span tag of about, and then I'm gonna say after that I'm gonna say span of, we have a few of services, right? And the last one is gonna be what? The last one is gonna be a span tag of projects, right? Projects. There you go, projects right here, guys. You see? So project is gonna be the span tag. Awesome, sweet. And then the last thing we're gonna do is we're going to create a div. And that's going to be the contact button. Contact button right there. Beautiful. So I'm going to say contact right here. Okay. Div class contact. Amazing. Okay. And so now we have these. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And let's see what does it look like. Well, it looks pretty shitty. Okay. It looks pretty bad. Would you guys agree with me on that one? Yeah, it looks pretty bad. Okay. That's okay. First things first I want to focus on is the following. So you can see that we have this div class menu. What I want to do is actually make sure that you see how it's top to bottom right here. I want to make sure to put it from left to right. I want to put all of this on the right hand section, which is right here. To make that happen, I'm going to go back to my Style Css. And here's what I'll do. I'm going to say the following. I'm going to do dot header. And I'm going to use something called display flex, guys. This is something you might have heard before. Maybe you have not heard before. But display flex is something that's used pretty much kind of everywhere to make sure it's done right. But let me see here. Actually, I'm gonna do, yeah, let's do it on the header. So I'm gonna say display flex. Display flex. So now you can see that right away header went from left to right. Okay, you see how if once I put display flex, this whole thing shifted from here to here, right? Display flex always shifts it from left to right. It's always gonna make a direction from left to right. Okay, right. And if you guys want some really good flex, so I'm gonna say flex. No, display flex. Flex box right here. If you guys go to just type in flex box, you will see CSS tricks. This is probably the best thing for you to learn CSS flex box. Okay, nice. Next up, I'm gonna say display flex, and then after display flex, what am I going to do? Where it's very, I want to make sure that this actual header is full width. So I'm gonna say inspect element on this one, and if I inspect element, you guys will see something, right? You see this logo right here, and here's my header, right? Currently, the width of it is 960 pixels by 36. Now, question to you: what do I need to do to make sure that this kind of about services projects, it's all, you know, kind of like, you know, spread out as much as possible? What do you guys think? Anybody know? Anybody know? If I go to my flex box, how do I put them to the side? Look at this. If I do just justify content, what do you think is the right justify content to use here? Anybody know? Is it flex start? Is it flex end? Is it space between? What do you guys think? That's right, Philip. It would actually be space between. So if I do like this, if I say justify content, space between, if I save this, boom, right there. See? Now, all of a sudden, this is now on the right-hand side. Basically, what this allows us to do is put as much space in between these as possible. Right here, right? That's pretty much it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give the header a height. I'm going to say height of 40 pixels. Save that. Okay. That makes the sunny side logo a little bit bigger as well. Okay. Then I'm going to give it a small padding. So I'm going to say padding left, padding right. Padding left is going to be for 10 pixels. And then padding right, 10 pixels as well. Right, so that pushes the logo more to the right hand side, just makes it, gives a little bit more spacing, which is what I like. Okay. Next thing, I want to show you something. Okay. If I go ahead and I want to make sure that, right, this is horizontally aligned or vertically aligned, and so is this vertically aligned. Well, I'm going to say justify content is space between, but I'm also going to say align items center. So you can see now the sunny side is aligned center right here. And so is this one. Now, how do we know that? If I right click on it, if I inspect element, you see the header? You see how everything is aligned vertically and very nicely? There you go. That's exactly what we want to do. Now, next thing is the menu. Okay, we've got that. That's all good. Let's talk about the menu now. All right. If I go to my menu here, where's my menu here? There's my menu right here. You see? Let's go to menu here. So I'm going to say dot menu. Menu. Inside the menu, you see how the reason why this contact is on the bottom is because it's a different div block. You see, these are all little blocks, and then this is a different div block, making it push all the way to the bottom. Now, who knows? How do I make sure that this is contact is on the right hand side, not at the bottom? Anybody know? If I look at my flex direction, how do I make sure that this is on the right hand side, not top to bottom? What do I do, guys? That's right. I will use display flex. So if I simply just say display flex on it, boom, right there. See, much better. By the way, it went from left to right, just like that. That's it, guys. You see, just like that, it went from left to right. Okay, beautiful. Next thing, I'm gonna give it a small font size. I'm gonna say font size here. Font size of 20 pixels. So make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to give it a color of white. Save that. Nice. And then I'm going to do it in a way where I'm going to give it margin. So for every single menu item here, I'm going to give it this a margin. So margin, those of you who don't know, margin is a space to the right hand side. Margin is space around it. So for example, if I have a block here. Okay, let's say this is a div. Okay, this is a div. Anybody know what do I use to create spacing inside the div? What do I use? Anybody know? That's right, I use padding. This will be padding. Now, what if I want to create spacing outside the div? That's right, it will be margin. Right, okay, that'll be margin. So in my case, if I want to, for example, if I want to push about away from services, what would I use? What would I use? Anybody know? Margin right, that's right. So what I can do here is I'm going to say dot menu. I'm going to say span. Now, the way I'm doing it is the following. I'm saying, hey, I want you to target the span items inside the dot menu class. If you look at it, that menu, right? And the span is inside the menu class, right? It's like a tree. It's almost like a tree structure, and all you're doing is just targeting the tree structure. You're going down the tree. That's it. Beautiful. So I'm gonna say span, and I will say margin right. Margin right is going to be what is it? 30. I'm gonna say 30 pixels. No, not 20. 30. 30 pixels. Yeah, that's about good. Okay, we've got that portion. That looks amazing. Let's now let's focus on the contact button. Okay, this contact button needs to look a little bit different, of course, and so we're gonna make that look a little bit different. Now, for the contact button, let's do that. If all I have to do for this specific one is honestly nothing crazy, right? This contact, if you look at it, all it is just a box. It's just a box right here with some curved edges. So I'm going to now I'm going to focus on the contact. I'm going to say dot contact like this. Dot contact. And I'm going to give it a background color. Background color of white. Right? I'm going to give it a padding. Now, here's a really cool thing. I want to show you something. So here's our background color. You see, it's right away. It's just, it covers up the whole text. Beautiful. But if I change up the color to now be black, so color is going to change the color of the text. Boom. Done, right? So now we have a black text, which is amazing. Nice. Okay. After that, what I want you guys to figure out is the following. So if I, for example, I want to go ahead and add some spacing. So in order for me to expand this white color right here, I need to add spacing on the inside to push the actual button away. It's weird. I want you guys to really understand this. It's like you're pushing from on the inside to make the actual button bigger. It's weird. You guys want to understand, it might take some time for you to understand. But if I say like this, padding, I'm going to give it a horizontal padding, so vertical padding first. So this is going to be 4 pixels. And then horizontal 15 pixels. Like this. So this is a shortcut for the following. 4 pixels is top and bottom padding. It's a shortcut. 15 pixels is left 15 pixels and then right 15 pixels, guys. Just so you guys understand, okay? It's a shortcut for, for saying individually padding left, padding right. Not necessary for this one. Beautiful. We got that. Then, since we have that, I'm going to give it a border radius. I'm going to say border dash radius. That's going to be around 15 pixels. Boom. So look at this. Now the button looking a lot better. Beautiful. All right. But I'm not kind of done yet. I want to give a few things. One, for the actual span or the actual header, you see how this right here is not aligned vertically. This is more at the top. This is more at the bottom. There's no vertical alignment. So to do that, anybody know how do you vertical align, two divs together? Anybody know? How do we do that? It's using flex, but what kind of an element do we use? If you look at my flex direction, if you want to align something vertically, what do we use here? We use align. That's right, align item center. That's right. So I'm going to go back to my here, and I will say here the following. I'm going to say for the menu, and I will say align items center. Now watch the menu. Boom. You see how I shifted just a little bit? Just a little bit of shifted. Not too much, but just a little bit. Another thing I want to do is I want to give the actual header some more padding. So I'm gonna say instead of 10 pixels, I'm gonna say 20 pixels. Padding right is gonna be no, not 200, 20 pixels as well, just to make it a little bit more spacing. I like to give spacing, which is really important, I think. Okay, for the header, and then I'm gonna say height is gonna be not 40 pixels, but it's actually gonna be 60 pixels. Oh, not 600, 60. There you go, much better, right? So it's a little bit more better on the eyes. Nice. Okay, and that's pretty much it, my friends. That's pretty much it. Okay, we've got that. Now I want to focus now on this contact button. I want to make it a little more interactive. So when I click on it, when I hover over it, it feels like it's a button, right? To do that, I'm gonna say cursor pointer, right? So right now, you see now when I hover over this, it feels like a pointer. You see, there's an actual pointer, there's an actual hand, making sure that it's a button. But I can even make it better. I can change the color on the hover. So for example, if I say like this, dot contact, and I say on the hover of this button, I can actually do something to it. I can change the color. I can choose background color. Instead of white, I can do like antique white, just a little bit off white. So now if I hover over this, you see now it's a little bit less white. You see that? So more like antique is more like yellowish white, and I can even add a transition to it. So if I do transition, 0.25 seconds, and that, by the way, is like a really good standard for if you want to do hovers. And then all, and then transition to all, you can say is in / out. You see? Now it's a much nicer. Let's make that even 0.2 seconds. Boom, boom. You see? It's a much nicer button. Everybody see that? Yes or no? See, change the color just a little bit better. Now, you guys see the yes? Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you're keeping up, Sam. That's amazing. Beautiful. So now we have our header, guys. We've got the header done. That's it. The header is right there. Our next section we're going to work on is going to be this We Are Creative section, which is all of this portion right here. We are creatives, okay? So let's focus now on this section to make sure it's a little bit better. All right. Go to my here, contact button. All right, awesome. All right. To make this one section, all we do is I'm going to create another div also inside the, not the header, but inside the actual banner. So you have the banner right here. You see that? Right? We have the header, again, which maps to the header. And underneath the header, I'm going to create another div called main. Div class is equal to main. Boom, done. Div class main, okay? Okay. After that, I'm going to do a few things. One, I'm going to create this text. We are creatives. For this text, I'm going to also use a span. A span is a lot of times used to just simply stylize a piece of text. That's it. So if I do span here, and I say, we are creatives. Boom. Done. Span is done, right? Now I'm going to give the span a class here is equal to, I'm going to say text, right? Because I want to stylize later on. And then after that, I'm going to use this image, this arrow image, this kind of image, arrow image, which kind of looks like a little bit like this image. You see that right there? So I'm going to say image, I'm going to say class, I'm going to say arrow, okay. And then we'll say source is equal to some kind of a source. Again, if you want to go to the source, let's go back to my GitHub page. You guys should have the GitHub, again, link down description page. Arrow right here. So let's go ahead and click Command C on this arrow. Beautiful. And paste it in right there. Boom, save that. Let's go back to our sunny side. Hey, there we go. Look at this. We got, I mean, it looks horrible, but it's okay, guys. We can always fix this. We are creatives, and here's the arrow. Right? Everybody see that? Yes or no? Everybody still with me? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, 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 yes. Everybody thumbs up. Yes, 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 yes. Everybody still with me? Yes or no? Great. Awesome. Now, a few things. We have We Are Creatives on the left-hand side, and then this arrow on the right-hand side. Right? What do I need to do? Well, it's very simple. What do you need to do in order to make sure that it's actually not from left to right now, but it's actually from top to bottom? Now it's gonna change your viewpoint on display flex. Actually, it's very interesting. Well, the way we do that is actually use something called a flex direction. So if I go to my Style CSS, right, I'm gonna say here dot not header, not menu, but we're gonna say dot main, right? Boom. Display flex, fine. But instead of flex direction row, which is what makes it from left to right, like this, I'm going to say column. Flex direction, column, right? So that, ooh, look at that. Don't worry, guys, we'll fix it. We'll fix it, okay? But you see now, We Are Creatives is at the top. This arrow, which is huge all of a sudden, is just at the bottom. All right? Right? So now, for this one, what do we do? Well, in order to make this a little bit smaller, a few things. I'm now going to align it, how do I say this? I'm going to align it now horizontally. To do that, I will say align items, center. Boom. There we go. See, once I put an alignment to it, it right away went back to its normal shape. It's as simple as that, right? Beautiful. Next up, after align items, I'm going to now center her vertically. I'm going to say the following, which is going to be justify content. Right now, and nothing happened. There's a reason why nothing happened, okay? And I'll explain to you in a second here why. But I'm going to do a font size here in a second here. So I'm going to say do font size here, 40 pixels. Maybe 50, I would say. Just so this is weird because it's a little bit bigger. Now, if you remember correctly, align items was used for vertical alignment from top to bottom. Justify content was used for horizontal alignment, left to right, right? But one thing you guys need to understand is that when you flip the direction, the flex direction from row to column, you flip the meaning of align items and the meaning of justify content. Now, align items is used for left to right direction, and the justify content is used for top to bottom alignment. So you flip the alignment when you do flex direction column. You flip the column, you flip the alignment. Everybody make sense? Beautiful. Nice. Now, why is it the case that this is not align centered? Well, if I right clicked on this, look at this, guys. If I right click, what do we see? We have this main section. Let me go and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see this. Let me see here. There we go. There we go. Right? If you guys can see it right here, right? We have this banner. That's the whole height. We have the header. We have the main. Now the main, you see the height of the main is very small. It's only basically as much as it can grow. But in order for me to fix that, here's what I can do. I can actually expand this main to be the full page height. Look, check this out, guys. If I say the following, header main. If I tell the banner that, hey, the banner is actually display flex. Check this out. For the banner, I will say display flex. Flex. I know, it just went to shit. Don't worry about it. Okay? Display flex. But instead of display flex, again, because display flex makes it from left to right. So what do? We go from top to bottom. I'm going to say flex direction now. Column. Boom. Beautiful. You see? It went back to normal. But this is where the trick is. I can now go to my main section and I can say the following. I can say flex grow 1. Check this out. Remember how when I right click on this, you see this, how this main section was only 174 pixels high. You see when I'm highlighting this, the height is very small. Well, look at this. If I do flex grow 1, if I say this, boom. What just happened? What just happened is very cool. Is this main grew as much as possible. Right? The main section grew as much as possible. So what I did is, I have the header, which does not grow in height. The header has a static height of only 60 pixels right here. Right here. But then with the main section, I said, hey, with the main section, I want you to grow it as much as possible with flex grow 1. So because of that, now this is the full height. The main section is the full height. And now I can use align items and justify content to align them vertically very nicely and align them horizontally very nicely. So right, when you guys are doing HTML and CSS, especially with Flexbox, guys, it's all about just taking a bunch of boxes and fitting stuff into the boxes. That is it. You guys with me? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Lamont. Thank you, everybody. Great. All right, awesome. So we got that. Next up, let's go ahead and change the We Are Creatives to be white. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, now let's change the color to white. All right, now the color is white. And let's also give it a bold. So I'm gonna say font weight. I'm saying bold. Beautiful. We Are Creatives font weight bold. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 60 pixels. Maybe even 70 pixels. Nice, look at that. So it's a little bit bigger. All right, I'm also going to stretch out this arrow button. So I'm gonna say this arrow, I'm going to give it a little bit more margin. So if I go now back to my here's my main section, and I see this is the main section. We have the image here and class arrow. So if I do dot arrow, and somebody tell me, do we use padding or do we use margin for this? Somebody tell me. I want to push the button, the arrow down. What do we use, guys? Anybody know? What do we use? That's right, Sam. We use margin. And what kind of a margin do we use? Top or bottom? Margin what? Top. That's right, top. Let's say margin top. And the only margin I'm going to use for this one is margin top of 30 pixels. Let's just say, maybe it's 40 pixels. There we go. See? Margin of 40. I can even do 60 pixels. Maybe make it, give it more spacing. Right there. We Are Creatives. Margin top. So now it looks a little bit more like this. Right there. You see? If I want to make it look even more like this, you see how this button needs to be a little bit bigger. So I can do it like this. I can go to back to my contact info. I can say 4 pixels. I can say maybe 8 pixels. And then this might be, for example, 30 pixels. Not 30. Boom, right there. And I can give it maybe more of a bigger raise, which is like 20 pixels. Nice. Look at that, guys. Looking so much better now. So much better. Ooh, so good. So good. Also on the span, you see how it doesn't feel like it's a link, right? It doesn't feel like it's a link. So what I want to do is I want to give it a cursor pointer. Save that. And now it's more of a link. See that bit? Right there. So guys, we have the banner fully complete now, okay? The banner fully complete, okay? But after that, let's work on the next section, which is going to be this section, transform your brand, okay? This is also the really interesting portion. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to this HTML. This section right here that I'm working on is called the section 1. That's right. So this section has a few things. One, what do we have? We have left and we have right. 2 divs. Okay, 2 divs we want to create. Okay, let's do that right now. So inside here, I'm going to say div class is equal to what? Left. And then the right div is going to be div class right. So I'm going to say div class is equal to right. Boom, right there. Div class right, okay? Beautiful. Inside those 2 divs, a few things that we need to work on. Well, inside the left section, inside the left one, what do we have? We have the transform your brand. So let's do that right now. I'm going to say H1. I'm going to give it a heading of H1. I'm going to say transform what? Your brand. Beautiful, right? Transform your brand. Awesome. Inside the H1, after that, we have a P tag, right? And all this is just a bunch of text. And I'm going to copy this text, and you guys can use this text if you want. But for those on YouTube, you guys just can go ahead. There we go. There we go. Right? I give you guys a text inside Zoom chat. Boom. Here's a text. So we are fully services creative agency specializing in helping brands grow fast, engage your clients through compelling visuals that do most of the marketing for you. That's it. So that's our P tag. Now, if I look at this right here, right? If I look at this right here, what do we expect? Well, pretty much nothing crazy. So let me do it right now. Hey, there we go. There it is. It is nothing crazy, right? So, yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Now, let's do it like this. One other thing I want to change is, as I'm doing this, is going to be, you see this vertical height, maybe a bit too much. I'm going to say like this, Style CSS. Let's go back to our banner. I'm going to change this to about maybe, instead of 80, I'm going to say 80 rh right here. So now it's a little bit, a little bit less kind of daunting. And if you actually want to give it like a min height, here's what you can do. So for example, if I inspect element on this one, this is a really cool trick you want to do. So 80 VH is almost like 80% of the height of the browser, right? Let's take a look at what is the minimum height we're able to give it. Maybe like 500, I would say 600 is minimum height. So let's do that right now. 600 is minimum height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say min height of 600 pixels. Boom. Right. That way, if this becomes really small, you see, it will never get smaller than 600 pixels. You see that? But it will always extend to as much as it wants. Right? So that's the really cool trick for you guys if you guys want to check that out. Okay? Cool. So we got that portion. That looks great. Let's talk about the transform your brand. Well, the left and the right section are a little bit weird. So let me do that right now. Okay. After we do transform your brand, we need to add the learn more button, which is this button right here on the left hand side. So let's do that. I'm going to put it into a div. Okay. Just so we have it as a box. Okay, put it into a div. And then inside the here, I'm going to give it an image. Image source is equal to what? Is equal to a learn more button. Again, let's go to GitHub. Arrow is right here. No, not this arrow. Learn more is right here. Copy learn more. Let's put it into our image source right here. Make sure you close out the image and put it right there. Save that. Hey, there we go. Beautiful. So it's looking pretty good. Like I said, nothing too crazy, all right? Now, after that, we need to divide up the div, the class, the right and the right, and the left and the right. Next up, let's go ahead and create an image for the right section. So I'm gonna say image class is equal to I'm just saying no class actually. Image, I'm gonna say source. Do something, close out the image. Now, inside that, of course, let's go ahead and go back to our images, which is right here. And we're gonna look at the egg. I call it the egg. I call it the egg image, guys, okay? Image source, the egg. Save that. And you can see now, again, it's nothing crazy, okay? We always start out with the base stuff, which is the base structure. And of course, we can modify this now. So don't worry so much about that. We have div class left, div class right. Beautiful. Now, within this, a few things I want to focus on, all right? Number one, for this image source, I have to put it somehow on the right-hand side. I have to make sure that this section is left-hand side, like this. And then we have a right-hand side, like this. Well, this is not the easiest thing to do, actually. I mean, it's kind of easy, kind of not. Instead, what we'll do is, well, we're going to do like this. For every single section, yes, that's right, Sam, display flex. So for section 1, I'm going to say that's section 1. Section 1. I'm going to say display flex. Say that. Boom. You see, it went from left to right. But again, Julio, very close, okay? We want to give it a 50% here and 50% here. That's going to be the hard part, okay? How do we do that? Well, first, I'm going to give it a section. Every single section, I'm going to give it a specific height. I'm going to say height of maybe, let's just say height of what? 350 pixels? Okay, maybe around that. Okay, for section 1, just something like this, okay? And then after this, what happened here? Yeah, there we go. That looks good. Okay. After that, what I want to do is actually, I'm going to give every single left and right a specific kind of like weight. You'll see what I mean here in a second here. So if I go to my, if I do my left section, look at this, guys. I say flex 1. See? And then what I'm going to do is comma dot right, flex 1 as well. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll fix that in a second here. We'll fix that. Okay. So if I right click on this one, inspect element. Let Okay, let me see here. I'm going to give my image a width of 100%. So I'm going to say image. That's section 1. Section 1. I'm going to say image. And let's go ahead and give it a width of 100%. Boom. See right there. So you can see now, actually, there's an equal divide, right? So there's an equal divide between here and here. It's pretty much 50%. You guys see that? It's 50%. See that? For the image, I'm also going to say the following. Width is 100%. I'm going to say the height is also 100%. Is also 100%. Okay? Right there. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say object fit. Object fit. Cover. Boom. What does that mean? Well, it means a few things. Object fit cover means basically that we are going to make sure that this width, the image takes up as much width as possible inside this little div. That's what that means, just so you guys know. Wait, somebody unmuted themselves. So if you guys can mute the other person, that would be great. Looks like somebody unmuted themselves, which is interesting. Not sure how that happened, but it did happen. Okay. So awesome. We got that portion, guys. That's good. Object fit covered. Now let's focus on this transform your brand. Okay. There's a lot needs to happen here to make this fully work. For the transform your brand, what I want to do is, one, we need to add a little bit of spacing. So there's a lot of space on the left hand side, a lot of space on the right hand side. We can make that work. Don't worry. Let's go to my index.html. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to limit the actual width of this whole thing. So let's take a look at this. If I look at my section 1, my left section right here, I will go to my so section 1 left. So that's section 1 dot left, right? I will say that the width for this one is maybe going to be about 80 or 70% potentially. Boom. Oh, percent. Save that. Let's go back to our code here. Let me see. Does it actually work out? Let me see here. Inspect down my section 1 left. Left. Let me see here. Okay, I think I know why. Because what I need to do is I need to put a container around this whole thing. So I'm going to say give a container. So I'm going to say div class is equal to, I'm going to say text container. Boom. And I'm going to put everything that's inside this left into the text container. Why? Because I want this text container to actually be smaller than the full left, right? If this right here is left, if this is the left, if this right here is the left class, right here, I want to create a text container that's going to maintain it like this. You see, that's going to be the text container. This right here is the text container, and this right here is the left class. That's right. So we do that for a few reasons sometimes. Beautiful, we got that. That means if I do section 1, I say text container, you'll see what I mean. Container. Boom. You see, now just for your brand is much smaller. Okay. Now, what does that mean for me? Well, that means that now inside the text container, I can do the following. I can do now on the section 1 dot left. I can do dot section 1 dot left. I can say display flex. Right. I can align it vertically like this. Align items. Center. You see? It's in the center. And then I can do just for content. Center. Right there. Look, guys. Right? So what did we just do? Well, all we did is we created a few buttons. Right? So if I go ahead and look at this, we have this whole thing. Right? We have this right here is left. Just make sure you guys understand this is left class. Then we created a text container, right? Again, it's all about boxes, guys. If you're great in making boxes in HTML, you're a professional developer. That's it, right? This right here is a text container. You see what I mean? Because the text container is its own box, it will control how everything inside of it will look like. That's it. So it will control how everything of this stuff will look like. That's it. See what I mean? That's what we did. Next up, let's focus on the actual the heading inside the h1, right? So let's do that right now. Okay, I'm gonna focus on the heading. Let's go ahead and go to index HTML. Let's go back to my content here. Beautiful. All right, I like it. Let's go ahead and go do dot section 1, dot left at h1. So I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna say dot left h1, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a bigger font size. So font size, maybe 30 pixels. Dot left h1, maybe more. Yeah, it's a bit better. Transform your brand, right? That's kind of how we have it right here. Transform your brand, right? Beautiful. I'm going to give it, okay. After that, I'm going to give it a specific margin bottom. So margin bottom, I would say 8 pixels. Right, to push everything to the bottom. You see that? Transform your brand. Push it to the bottom. Beautiful. Then we have, what do we have? We have then this specific text, which if you guys take a look at it, right, the text is actually has a different color, right? It has a different color. It's not necessarily black. It's like gray. So if I zoom in on this one, if I zoom in, I want you guys to check this out. If I do color picker, I have something called color slurp. Right here, I'm gonna get the color of this one. See? Here's the color right here. Boom. So I'll just copy the color of the P. So I'm gonna say dot left P tag. I'm gonna say color. Boom. Let me see here. There we go. So now if I go back to my thing, look, see, that's the color right here. Beautiful, right? Much better. Beautiful. And of course, I wanna, you see how it's more of like a, it's a, number one, it's a different font size as well. And also it has a different line height. So here's what we'll do now. Okay, I'm gonna say line height 1.3 pixels. Let me see here. Nope, too much. I'm gonna say 10 pixels. Nope. Let's go to 1.3, just maybe like this. There we go. So line height 1.3, right? So this increase the line height a little bit more. And I'm gonna give it a font size of Arial. Font family. I'm just gonna say give it a Arial font family right there. Arial. Boom. So it's a little bit different now. See that, guys? It's a little bit different now. Beautiful. So font family Arial. That's what we did right here. And now let's focus now on this button, which is so humongous right now. This learn more button, right? Learn more button. That's what we're gonna focus on now. Okay. To make that really pretty much work, it's not actually it's not that crazy. If I call a div class is equal to button right here, save that. Let's go back to my style.css, and I will say the following. I will say dot left, and I will say a button. I'll say dot button actually. Dot button means you're talking to the class, okay? Dot button. What's gonna happen is the following. I will go ahead and I say display flex. And check this out. The button is gonna decrease size right away. Wait, is it not? Let me see here. Let me see here. Got the button. Okay. Oh, okay. I know why. Because we need to go ahead and make sure it's aligned. So if we do now align item center, you'll see now it will decrease. So if I center it vertically, then it will decrease. So say align items center. Let me see here. Still not it. I think it's a little bit too big of a button maybe. Let me see, guys, here. Maybe I thought it goes in image. So it is an image. Yeah, but I mean, the container is a button. So the container is a button right here. So this container right here, just to let you guys know, this container here is a button. So let me show you. This is a button, and there's an image inside the button. You see what I mean? I'm just trying to make sure this button gets a little bit smaller because I don't like that. That's it. The class should be in the image, not div. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So let me try this 1 second here. So if I go ahead and do this, if I say maybe now, okay, that left. Let's call it image. Okay, I'm gonna give it a specific width. Get a width of like maybe let's just say 30 pixels. See, now it's gonna be a lot smaller, right? I'm gonna give it a height width of 100, of like let's just say 100 pixels. More, maybe like 150. Yeah, much better right there. See, guys, so yeah, good call on that, Sam. Yeah, I think I see what you mean. I think it is because you made it the width of all images of 100%. Okay, I did not make the images of all images of 100%, but it does assume that this image is 100%. Now, next what I'll do is I'll give it a margin bottom. So I'm gonna say margin for the actual button. For the p tag, I'm gonna give it a margin bottom to also push the learn more. So now it kind of looks like this, guys. It looks very similar to what we have right here. And you can see there's more spacing here, so I can do that. I can do a lot more spacing here. So I can do a margin bottom instead of 8 pixels, I can do like 16 pixels. Same thing goes for the p tag, 16 pixels. Right there. Boom. Much better. I'm going to give a little more spacing again on the line height as well. So maybe like 1.8 right here, guys. Look at that. It's a lot more cleaner, a lot better now. So now we have our first section. It looks great. Look at that. And you see, and it's always square as well. It's always square. That's the cool part. It's always square. That's the cool part about it. Okay. All right. Next portion, guys. You guys ready? Next portion is going to be the one I want to focus on. It's not necessarily this one because this one is the same. You guys, I want to give it this one. This one is going to be for your homework right here. So this one's going to be for your homework. This section. It's the same as this section, except you flip left. Instead of left, this is going to be this. The left section is now the image. This is the right section. So the only difference is just you flip it. That's it. Okay. I want to focus on this section now. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Section 2. Section 2, which is this section. Okay. All right. In this one is, again, nothing too crazy. I'm going to create section 2, section 2. That's going to be left and right. So let's go ahead and do this right here. We have a div class is equal to left. Then we have another one called div class is equal to what? Right. Beautiful, right there. See, div class left, div class right. Okay, guys, everybody got that? Nice. And all it is honestly, it's just 2 images. It's nothing crazy, guys. It's just 2 images inside that. So if I do an image here, image class, boom, and I'm going to use the berries. I call it the graphic design image, the cherries. I'm going to copy this one. Okay, I'm gonna say image not class, image source actually. Image source is equal to this. Okay, then we have another image source is equal to the which one? Let me see here. Let me look at the GitHub, the photography one. This one. Let's close out this image. And so let me see how this looks like. Well, I mean, we got 2 images basically. Okay. We have one that's here, and then we have another one that looks like it's not working for some reason. Let me see here. Let me make sure it's all good. Let me make sure that's all images all good. Clementine. Looks like it's not able to go for some reason. Let me see here. Did I not copy it correctly? No? Okay. That's okay. I can figure this one out if I just copy it from here. Right here. Here's another one for you guys. The hell? Why is this image not working? I may have moved temporarily to a new address. Okay, all good. So I can actually see the image. So here's what I can do for you guys. let's make sure for us to make sure the image actually works. It used to work for some reason, but it's not working right now. It's okay. We can do without this image, or we can actually upload this image. So somebody says mine is working. Let's see. I'm gonna try it one more time here. Boom. Trying to refresh a few times. Not necessarily. Interesting. Okay. Well, so here's what I can do in that case. A few things. I can actually upload the image to a different way. So I'm going to say image URL upload. So you guys can all have it, because I want to make sure you guys do have it right here. I think this is a lot more let me see here. Let's see, I'm going to upload this the image for you guys so you guys can get it. Let me see. Come on. Why is this not working now? Here. There we go. I'm going to upload this image for you. Right here. Save image as. Just stay with me here for a second. Download. Right here. Copy image address. I'm gonna add it actually in here. Right away. Photography. Boom. Let me make sure it's actually working. That's the one right there. Good. Good. So now if I go to my GitHub page, you guys should see the change here in a second here. There we go. Save changes. Beautiful. All right, guys. You guys now have the new image. Okay, guys. Everybody, you guys have the new image. So let's go and copy this one. If yours does not work, boom. Save that. Let me see if that works. And it... Oh, come on. Really? Alright, it's okay. Alright, I'll figure it out differently in a way. Alright, it's not working. No worries. So, same thing, guys, is going to happen here, guys. All we're going to do is going to say left and right. So, here's what I'll do for you. Is for the left section... Why is it not working? It's so weird. I have the image. It's like right there. Look, see, it opens up, no problem. But if I open it up inside my project folder, it's not opening up for some reason. No worries. That's weird. Okay, same thing. We want to make sure that the left and the right hand section are both equal, guys. So what we're going to do, I will go to my Style.css. Same thing. I will do left and right flex 1, right? So flex 1 to make sure it's actually fully the way it is. That left image, okay, looks like that's all good with over 150 pixels. Let me see here. No. Div image right here. So what I want to do now in this case is kind of the following, right? If this is graphic design, I'm going to go and inspect that on this one. Okay. We have section 2, okay, left, and then right. Okay, great. I'm going to give section 2 also a height, a specific height. So let's go to section 1, and let's go ahead, comma, section 2. That way they both have the same flex. Boom. So section 1, section 2 are both height of 350 pixels and so forth, okay? Let me right-click on this again one more time. I have section 2. Okay, great. The left section is this. Right section is this. For some reason, it's not, the way it is, but it's okay. What we're going to do is for the left section is I'm going to say dot left. I'm going to say dot left image is going to be what? That left image is going to be width of 100%. There we go. And then there we go. See? And then the height is also 100%. There we go. Right? And I will say object fit cover. Object fit cover. There we go. Right? And hopefully this image comes back to work at some point later on. But basically we have now these two images. We have transform your brand, learn more. Okay, awesome. One thing I want to do is this learn more. You guys can see how this learn more is not an actual clickable button. So we want to make that happen too. So what I can do to make that happen is the learn more is just simply, again, it's just simply an image. And if you look at the button, see this class.button, all I can do is do the .button section. I can do a cursor pointer right there, cursor pointer right here. So now if I hover over this, it's a cursor pointer. There we go. And so now it's a very simple button that we can use. Beautiful. After this, I want this image to work for some reason, guys, but it's not. Where else can we put it? Where else can we use this image? How else can I get this image? Copy image address. I'm sure I pasted it correctly. What if I use the same image here? Hold on. Cherries. 2 cherries. All right, we got 2 cherries. Okay, that's fine. All right. Let me go to Style Css. I want to say left and right. So you see how we did the left image is width of 100%. I'm going to say now the reason why, again, the right image is trying to take over as much as possible is because we're not saying the image should be width of 100%, right? So I'm going to say, now I'm going to say the right of image right here. Right there, you see? So now, again, 2 of the same images pretty much, okay? Again, I will replace those images with the right image. But what we did is the following. When you separate 2 classes between a comma, it's applying the same style to these 2 classes, okay? The first one is .left image, which is going to target the left image, right? The second one is going to be the right image. So it's going to target the right image. Everybody see that? Yes or no? Right? Beautiful. Thank you. Awesome. Sweet. So I'm not sure why that thing is not working. Somebody said try a different browser. Yeah. Somebody said mine is working as well. That's so weird. I don't know why. Copy image address. Let me go back to here. No. Does not like it. Anyways, it's okay. We keep going, guys. It's okay. So we got that portion, guys. We got this. Now let's work on the client testimonials, guys. Okay, let's work on the client testimonials section. All right, the client testimonials section, and that one is a little bit also. That one is not easy one to do because we have a few buttons or we have a few sections that we need to create together. All right, and those are the following. So if I go ahead and do now div class section 3. So I'm gonna say div class now is equal to section 3. And I'll also like to call testimonials. I'm going to say testimonial. I'm going to give it two classes. Testimonials. That's right there. So click save. Awesome. Sweet. We got that. Inside testimonials, of course, a few things. One we have is default. We have this is a header right here, H1. So I'm going to create an H1 right here. And I'm going to say it's called client testimonials. Client testimonials, right? You see that? Save that. Beautiful. After that, let's go ahead and create another div that's going to contain all of these different clients, right? It's going to be, right? Here's how we think about it, right? If I'm going to create this myself without even creating the HTML, always draw it out, guys. Always draw it out. Somebody said, oh, section 3. Thank you very much. Section 3, actually. Thank you very much. Always draw it out. So I'm going to create a container around it. And inside the container, we have 3 divs. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Right? That's it. Section 1, section 2, section 3. Thank you, guys. I changed it to section 3. Appreciate that. All right. We got that right now. Now, inside the H1, after the H1, let's go ahead and create a div called div class is equal to what? It's equal to div class. I'm going to say it's going to be clients. Beautiful. That's going to be the container, right? The container is going to be the client's container, right? And inside that we have one client. So it's going to create our first client here. I'm going to say div class is equal to what? It's going to be div class client. Boom, inside here. Inside the client, what do we have, guys? Inside the client, what do we have? Inside the client, what do we have? Inside the client, we have the following, which is what? We have what? We have one, we have this image. Right, we have this image. Inside the client, we have this image. And then we have what? We have this paragraph. Right? Then we have some details around the author who wrote it. Right? So if I put this into HTML, what do we have? We have one is we have the image. So let's go ahead and create the image. So image source is equal to what? Boom. Now the source, okay, this source right here is what, right? If I look at my source, if I go to my friends, if I go to my GitHub, the client image is this one right here. So your source is going to be this client. Hopefully this one works as well. Let me see. Fingers crossed. Ah, come on. This one does not work either. Maybe I need to open this in a different browser, guys. Let me see. I'm going to open this in a different browser. These images sometimes are just wonky. Let me see. This is nope, not the way it's supposed to be. No. Again, that's all right, guys. That's okay. No problem. So what we can do now at this point is we can make that a little bit better. I can actually get a specific image. So all you have to do is just get an image of a person. So I'm going to say random person image. Okay. I know. That's literally what we've got to right now at this point. Okay, let's just say we have random person like this image, for example. I'm going to save this image. I'm going to save this image. So you can use any image, guys. I'm going to say save image as. Save it to downloads right here. Beautiful. Save to downloads. Awesome. We got that. So that's all you need to do. After that, let's go back to our HTML right here. Nice. All right. For the client testimonials, again, we have the image. After the image, guys, we have what? The p tag. So p tag. That's going to be the description about what the client said, right? So the client said what? So the client said, looks like a few of these, and I have what the client said actually, and I can copy and paste this for you so you guys have it. Right here. So p tag. If you're on YouTube, feel free to just copy this and paste this for yourself. Okay. And then after that, we have the details. So I'm going to say div class is equal to what? Details. Boom. In the details, a few things. We have one, the name. So h2, right? I'm going to call it Emily. Emily R. Right. And then after h2, what do we have? We have the what? The h4. So I'm going to call it in h4. And that h4 is going to be what? Marketing director. Save that. Beautiful. So now if I have one client, okay, I'm going to go and save this right here. Let's look at what we got. We got a bunch of stuff and some weird stuff, okay? It's okay. What I want you guys to do is create a new folder here now. It's called assets. Okay? And we're going to take this image of a person that we got, guys. Take this image and put it into the assets folder. So now we have this. Hit enter. I'm going to say client1. Boom. Client1.jpg. Okay. So now we have a specific client, a picture inside here. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Again, I showed this to you guys so we can go ahead and you guys don't need the actual image links. Okay, guys? Because sometimes the image links are a bit wonky, a little bit weird. So it's all right. Instead of this source, I'm going to say assets right here and see client1.png. So now, right there, you see client1. Now, because it's now a square image, we need to make it into a circle. Now, to make it a circle, who knows how to make an image into a circle? Anybody know? I'm going to create a div class, client image. Anybody know how to make an image into a circle? Anybody know? Anybody? How? Border. That's right, Julio. Border radius. Yes, that's right. Actually, border radius 50%. So, for example, if I have my client image, check this out, guys. I'm going to have my client image and I'm going to give it a specific width. Let's just say, I'm going to say, let's go to Style Css and I'm going to give it a specific width of, let's just say this, the client image. Oop, right there. Boom. And I'm going to say a width of, let's just say 50 pixels and height of 50 pixels. Boom, right there. Okay. Now, nothing really changed because the image is still width of 100%. You see, we have this small image. It's right there. But the image itself is just humongous. But we can change that. I'm going to change this to 80 actually for now. Let's change it to 80. Change this to 80. Okay. Then what I will do is the following. I will say dot client image. Check this out. The image inside that, I'm going to say it's width of 100%. And height of 100%. Okay. That way, you see my border, my actual, let me show it to you. My actual, for example, a client image is, is this small. And then I'm telling the image inside of it to fit this border, to fit this div. I save this. Boom, you see that? Now, you can see now it's stretched out. You can see how this is stretched out. Now, it's not what we like. So, to fix that, here's what I'll do. To fix that, I will do like this. I will say object fit, cover. No, cover. Boom, much better. Now, you see now this image is a little bit small. Good, I can change that. So I'm going to say the following. I'm going to say border radius 50%. And look, even if I put border radius, nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened if I put border radius on. Why is that the case? Anybody know? Why is that the case? Because why? Because what's happening is, even though I put this border radius to make it into a circle, the actual image is coming outside the circle. It's overflowing. So what I need to do is I need to say overflow hidden. Boom. Guys, look at this. You see? Now, my friends, we have what? We have, my friends, a what? A circle. That's it. A circle. You see? That's it. You have a circle. Okay, great, great, great. Next thing what I want to do is, for this client testimonial, we got a circle. Beautiful. But I want to center all this kind of stuff. I want to kind of center it to make sure it's all good. It's all good and dandy. First things first, let's go ahead and go to our client testimonials. And if I go look at my little cheat sheet here, I got, okay. All right, beautiful. Left and right, left and right. Section 2, section 3, nice. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now at this point, if I go to my HTML, I have my testimonials. I'm going to give my testimonials a specific height, guys, okay? Let's go ahead and do that. So I will give the testimonials section. Testimonials, right? One. Let's say dot testimonials. Dot testimonials. Testimonials. Okay. Testimonials. Number one, I want to give a specific height, but also number two, I want to make sure that it's kind of center, there's some spacing here. So let's try that right now. So I'm going to do the following. I'm going to say one, display flex, right? Because I want to take it from top to bottom, right? So again, from left to right, but if I want to do it from top to bottom, what do I do, guys? Anybody know? What do I do to make it top to bottom? Anybody know? What do I do? You guys tell me. Top to bottom. Not left to right, but top to bottom. What do I know? What do I do? Somebody tell me. Switch sides. Okay, yes, but what? With using what? Using what? Flex direction. So look. Column. See? Again, it's not top to bottom as well. Again. Then what I will do is I will do align item center to center it horizontally. Boom. There you go. See? Client testimonials now. Next up, I'm going to get the image, the color of this client testimonial. So if you go ahead and do a color slurp, for example, if I do this, if you look at it here, right? Boom, right? And I copy this specific hex. I'm going to give the dot testimonials, the H1 on this one, a color of this. You guys can go ahead and copy this for yourselves as well. Boom. Okay, awesome. So now if I go back to here, here's my client testimonials. I'm going to decrease the size a little bit to about 16 or 18 pixels. Boom. Maybe it's about 20 pixels. Oh, sure, 20 is good too. 20 is good too. Awesome, sweet. So we've got that portion. Let's go ahead and give it a margin top. Margin top of about, let's just say 30 pixels. Boom. Okay, client testimonial 30 pixels. Awesome. And then let's give it a margin bottom of about, I would say 40 pixels. Beautiful. Awesome, sweet. Next up, we need to focus on the actual client itself. So what do we have? What we have is this color. If you look at this color background, guys, it's already different. So this whole color, see, it's different color. It's FF, BFF. It's not fully white. It's like a grayish color. So you guys need to notice this one too. You see, it's a grayish color, which makes a big difference. So if I go to my testimonials again, I'm going to say background color is this right here, FFF BF8. So you guys can go ahead and copy that for yourselves. FFF BF8. Okay, guys. Now if I go to my here, there it is. FFF BF8. Beautiful. I love it. Next up is going to be the actual testimonial itself. So like I said, what do we have? Well, if you look at it, we have these box. This box, this box, this box. So for one, what do we use in order to align the boxes inside this whole client thing? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Anybody? Anybody? What do you guys think? It's going to be what? Display what? Display, yes, but display what? Display flex, that's right. So if I go ahead and go to display flex, I will go to my client. So you can see there's my client within my client. So if I go to clients, I'm going to give display flex. That's part one, right? And then within my clients, I'm gonna clients client. I'm going to focus on one client now. Client. That's going to be display flex, but which direction, guys? Display flex. Flex, but which direction? Anybody know? Which direction are we using this to go from top to bottom? Anybody know? Top to bottom is what direction? What direction? Anybody? It is, that's right, column. So flex direction. Column. Beautiful. So now, if I go back to my piece of code, nothing really changed here, right? Nothing really changed. That's okay. Okay. My individual client, I'm going to give it a flex of 0.3. Look at this. So I said, basically, give it about 30% width. Almost. Okay. Right? Inside the flex direction column, I'm going to make sure it's all centered horizontally. So I'm going to say align items. Center. Right there, see? Now everything is centered, beautiful. Nice. Then within that, I'm going to center the p tag. So if I go to my .client p tag, I'm going to say text align center. Boom. See, now this is aligned center. Next up, what's missing here, guys? What's the big thing that's missing here, guys, right now? Anybody know? What is the big thing that's missing here? Anybody know? What is it? Well, it's honestly just spacing. We need to space this out a lot better. So one, for the client, I'm going to focus now on the actual client image. So that client image right here, that client image, I'm going to give it a margin bottom. Oh, 16 pixels. Well, good. So it's a little bit more like this. Okay. Then I'm going to, again, we can always expand that. But the client.p, also margin bottom. Margin dash bottom. Also 16 pixels. Beautiful. Right? Then we have this Emily R stuff. Then we have this kind of stuff right here. So we have details. We need to center that horizontally as well. So I'm going to say here, .client, .details. Okay? And I'm going to say what? Text align here. Center. Center. Boom. You see? Now Emily R is centered, and then so is marketing director is also centered. Okay, beautiful. So we got that portion. I want to space it out a little bit more now. Okay, space out a little bit more. And what I want to do is kind of like this. So I'm going to say like this. I'm going to say margin bottom, not 16, but let's just give it a 30 pixels. And 30. Boom, right there. Much better. Okay. And you see how we have spacing here. we need to add spacing here at the bottom too. So here's the cool part. If I have here my client testimonials, which is going to be the header to each one, and I have my margin top, instead of doing that, this is really cool. I can actually create padding for the whole testimonial section. So look at this. Remove this margin top for a second here. Instead of doing this, I'm going to say dot testimonial. I'm going to say padding top of 30 pixels. You see? And then padding bottom of 30 pixels as well. Boom. So now you can see it's padded out. I can even do more. I can do like 50, for example. 50. Boom. So now it's a lot more spaced out, a lot better. It feels a lot cleaner, all of that. Beautiful. All right, let's go back to what we have so far. Okay, next up, we need to change this text right here to be the text just how we have right here. Remember this text right here? Remember this text? It's the same text way of this text. So if we remember correctly, right? What do we remember correctly? If you remember correctly, I'm going to go back to my text of when I had my font Arial right there. I'm going to copy the color. I'm going to copy the font family and the line height. And I'm going to give it to the P tag. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, right? So much, much, much better, right? Okay, now let's try this. Let's go ahead and copy the same client. I'm going to just duplicate this client 3 times. Just for us to make it easier. I'm going to copy this whole thing and duplicate it 3 times. 1, 2. Save it. Hey, let's go, right? So we have 3 the same clients. Okay. But now let's work on the actual alignment to make sure they're all horizontally centered and everything. So if we have the client section, you see you have 3 clients. It's looking pretty good. I would say so. Right? 3 different clients. I want to do number 1. This section right here needs to be centered horizontally. Anybody know how do we do that? Anybody know how do we do that? If our parent right here is clients, right? How do we center it horizontally? Well, let's take a look at it. If I look at my actual, what you want to check out a lot of times is just inspect them and see what's going on here. So check this out. If I look at my client, we have clients is the full width, but client, because it's 0.3 per 30%, it's this, right? So it's all kind of stacked together. Now, anybody know how do we center it horizontally in a way where it's spaced out evenly? If you look at flex direction, if you look at flex, what do we use to space out evenly? Anybody know? You guys tell me. What do we use to space it out evenly? You guys tell me. What do we use here? What do we use? Yeah, we can use space evenly, or we can even use space between, which is fine too, right? We can use space between as well. So what I will do here is I will go to clients. So let's see, I will go to clients, and I will say display flex, but I will say justify content, space between. Save it. Let's see it now. Oh, look at that. Much, much, much better, right? Much better. Beautiful. Okay. And now I'm going to add a little bit more padding on the left and the right hand side. So remember how we had testimonials and we gave it a padding of bottom and top and bottom. I'm also going to give a similar situation, but for padding right. So let's do padding left. Left is going to be 50 pixels. Same thing with the padding right. Boom. Hey, let's go. See, much, much, much better. We've got some spacing around it and so forth, all right? So there we go. There's how it looks like. Let's change up the colors of the individual, for example, Emily R and then marketing director. Of course, we need to change that up as well. And we can do that right now. One is Emily R. That's fine. I can see that's a big of a text, but for the marketing director though, the H4. So let's do that right now. I'm going to dot client H4. Because remember, the H4 comes from where? It comes from here. This is the H4. You see that? So H4. Boom. H4. And I'm going to give it a different color. I'm going to give it the same color as this right here. Color of this right here. I'm actually going to give it a lighter color of this right here, the A1, the H1 that we had before. Lighter color. There we go. Nice. And I'm going to give it a little bit of more of a margin top. margin top. Let's just say it's a margin top of maybe like 8 pixels. Beautiful. And so now, my friends, there you go. You have yourselves the testimonials. Okay. We have 3 of the same people. You can actually change these people to be whichever ones you want. Maybe you change this text. You change the text right here to the text that is actually in here. And that's why I highly encourage you guys that when you go to this, you actually go to, and create your landing page through here, guys. Okay. And actually download the full details and the full images. Beautiful. All right, let's continue on, my friends. We're not very far away. Testimonials are done. Next section is going to be this section. It's a little like milk bottles, that kind of stuff. So anybody know how do we create this section, for example? Anybody know here? How do we create a section like this? Anybody know? How many divs do we need to create for, let me show you, for this section? How many divs do we need to create? Tell me. How many divs? Anybody know? How many divs? That's right, 5. That's right. So one is going to be the container. That's this container right here. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys see that? Yes or no? Yeah? Good. Right? So 4, 5 containers all together. Right? Now, let's go ahead and do that right now. I will go ahead and go to index.html. And after my section 3 testimonials, I'm going to create, and make sure you guys put your code in the right place. The biggest thing that I see with a lot of people, the biggest mistakes that I see people making is the following. They will put the next div like somewhere inside here, and they're wondering why their website is broken. If your website is broken, it is because you put the div in the wrong place, right? Remember, guys, it's all like a tree. You have section 3. I like to use this minimization tool right here. I minimize it. This tells me this is the ending div, and then that way I can just hit enter, and then now I create a new div, and I call it section 4, and I might call it a, let's just say, what should I call it, guys? What should I call this section 4? I should call it what? I should call it. Somebody says mine is broken. Yeah, yours is broken is because of the HTML structure. Okay, you have to make sure that your HTML structure is correct, guys. And I'm gonna call it maybe example images. Examples. Maybe that's what I'll call it. Beautiful. And inside there's 2 images, so we have 4 images. We have div. We have actually, it's gonna be like this. More so gonna be like image source. Right here. Then we have another image source right here. Boom. Then we have another image source right here. Okay. Then we have the last one. Source. Boom, right there. Everybody see that? Beautiful. And that's pretty much it, my friends, right? So we got that. Okay. Awesome. Sweet. So we got that section. Okay. Now let's go ahead and copy some of these images. I will go to my GitHub here. We have the cone. No, actually the one that we have right now, we need to copy is going to be which one? The milk bottles, I call it. The bottles. Right here. Copy this milk bottle. Right there. Paste that in. Boom. Let's see how this works out. Oh no, it does not show up as well. Oh, come on. Really? Okay, next one's going to be the orange. Let's see. Which one will work? It's like a guessing game. Will any of them work? Is my question. Nope. Does not work. Image UR. You have failed me, Image UR. You have failed me. Officially. You have officially failed me. Let me see here. Nope. And then the last one probably does not work either. So let me say use cherries. I can use the cherries one, but I think it's better if we use the 3 separate ones. So that's why, guys, I think you guys should go to Frontend Mentor, guys. Go to here. I highly recommend you do this right now. Go to here, sign up, download it. When you sign up right here, When you sign up, you just click download starter files. This will give you all the image files right here, guys. Okay. So sign up, download it, and that way, here's what I can do because I have the actual files. So here, if I go to my downloads here, I have my sunny side up right here, right? I have my images right here, and so I can actually put all these images inside, where they need to be. So I'm gonna do this, copy this, put it into my assets folder. So I encourage you guys to do that right now. I encourage you guys to try that. Yeah, I encourage you guys to try that. So put the images just from, the one that you got from the website right here. So that way, if I do image source, the first one's going to be the following. So I'm going to say assets with the milk bottle, guys. After that one, it's going to be what? Which one? Assets of what? The orange. Boom. Last one is going to be which one? The assets, and that's going to be the which one? Remember the cone. There we go. And then finally, this one's going to be assets, and then it's going to be the sugar cubes right here. Save that. Let's see how that works out. Hey, it's right there. Now, it's very big. That's okay, guys. That's okay. If you guys want the link to this, guys, feel free. Here's the link, by the way. There you go. Just sign up and you'll get all the images you guys want. Okay, beautiful. Next up. So what do we want to do with this one now at this point? Well, the following. I have this example section, right? Of course, and we need to make it so that these all fit into the whole page evenly, kind of top to bottom evenly, okay? To make that work, if I go to style the CSS, I'm going to say here, I'm going to say dot what? Dot client. Dot, no, not client, but I'm going to say the dot examples. Examples, right? And let's call it display flex, everybody, right? Display flex. Right there. See, now they're all from left to right. But of course, they're too big. We don't want that. So I'm going to say dot examples. Dot examples. Image. Image. Okay. Beautiful. I'm going to say the following, guys. There's 4 images in here, okay? If you guys know about images, guys, okay? 4 images. What is the width of every single image in that case? 25%. So I'm going to say flex 0.25. Okay. Then I'm going to say width 100%. Or not necessarily. Let me see here. Right click, inspect that one, this one. Might be hard to set the width of 0.25. It's okay. So here's what we'll do better. Okay. Here's a better way to do this. So instead of doing images, I'm going to wrap it with a div, because then the image will conform to the div. So div. Okay, right here. I'm going to put this image in the div. Boom, right here. Right. I'm going to call this div class of equal to example container. Just like this. And I'll use the same exact div. You see, guys, I'm showing you guys the exact way that a program would actually code. Right? It's never perfect. And there's always going to be times where you want to change something because something is now working the way it should be. Okay? I'm going to put the image inside the div. Now, how do I know how this is done? How do I know the fact that I need to put the image inside the div because, otherwise it will not work properly? Well, the way I know, because I know an image is like, it's a very funky one. The images will basically stretch out as much as possible. But a div, I can control the width of a div much better. Right? So div. Also div class container. That's why, guys, I always encourage you guys. This kind of stuff will always come from, a lot of practice, a lot of, doing a lot of different things. And then it will just become like second nature to you. So div class, also going to be container as well. Let me just do it normally. Boop. Oh, what did I just do? What did I just do, guys? We have this one, the cone, the orange, same one. Div class is equal to example container dash container close that one out. Image source is this one right here. Boom. See it, guys? Everybody see it? Yes or no? Beautiful. Nice. We got that. Let me go and see that. Let me see what will happen. Oh, look at that. It just went straight for it. You guys see what happened here? Look at this. It just automatically went into what we need to do, right? So like I said, what happened is that we give it a flex. So, but I can even do it with like, it's a div here. So div, I'm going to focus on the div. I'm going to say the div is flex 0.25. Then inside that, I'm going to give it inside the div, I'm going to say dot examples image of width 100%. Boom, right there. See? And so there you go, my friends. That's how, my friends, you just go ahead and do this, right? You give the div a flex of 0.25 and you set the width image of 100% to fit the div. So it's kind of like this. We created this div. Let me show you. We created a div around here. And the image, I told, hey, expand as much as you can to here. That's it. But the div has a flex of 0.25, meaning it is going to be 25%, right? This is going to be 25%. This is 25%. This is 25%. So is this, and so is this. That means we're going to have an equal width of images. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Make sense? Comprende? Make sense? Good. Let's continue on. So far we're doing really well, guys. I'm liking the way it's going. I'm going to replace this graphic design. Let me see here. It's good. It's fine. So next up is going to be the footer, guys. We're almost done. So close. Next up is going to be this footer. So we have this right here. Let's create the footer. To create the footer, what do we do, guys? What div do we want to create the footer? What is the class of the div we want to use? Anybody know? What is the class of the div we want to use? What do we use? Anybody? I'm going to say div class. Yeah, makes sense. Div class is equal to what? Footer. Boom. Div class footer, just like that, guys. Okay. Div class footer. Okay. Now, this div class footer has a few things. If I zoom in for you, right here. If I zoom in, somebody tell me what boxes am I going to create for this footer? Anybody know? What boxes am I going to create? Anybody? What boxes am I going to create for this footer? What do you guys think? Well, what is it? We have one that's here, sunny side up, right? That's the logo. Then we have this box, right? This might have 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 boxes, my friend, you see? Right? So if we go ahead and do this, number 1, let's go ahead and create a footer. I'm going to say div class is equal to logo. Div class is equal to just the same logo as I had here inside the header. Right? Div class is equal to logo. Boom. The logo that we're going to use is a little bit different now. So let's go ahead and go back to our images that we had from the downloaded application. Right here. The logo is going to look a little bit different. So there's two logos. There's one that's green. There's one that's white, as you can see here. One that's white, one that's green. So if I go ahead and look at my logo, the SVG, this one's the white one. Actually, here's what we can do. Looks like they don't have a logo image like this. Here's what they do instead. They do like this. If I go to my logo, I'm going to copy my image class logo. Check this out. I'll remove this div for now. I don't want that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to change the color because this is an SVG. So if I save this, right? Let me go back to my here. Oh, what happened? What happened to my application? There we go. Logo is there. Let's give the footer a background color. So I'm gonna say dot footer. Background color is going to be what, guys? If I go to my Frontend Mentor application right here, if I scroll down, if I use the color picker, a lot of you guys should have a color picker 100% all the time. Here's my color. Copy it. Boom, boom. You guys can copy it for yourself as well. So there's the color. 90D4C5. Save that. Let me go back to this thing right here. There it is. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I like it. So there we go. Now, I'm going to give this a specific height for now. Just say it's like maybe 400 pixels. Just for temporarily purposes, because I want to make it a little bit bigger. Just temporarily, I want to make it a little bit bigger here. Okay. Look at this. If I go to that footer and I do that logo, I'm going to give it a different color. Check this out. Color. Again, I'm going to pick what the color is. Oh, this is a horrible color picker. No. Wait. Right here. It's like a really darkish green right here. Boom. Let's copy this right here. I'm going to say color with the hashtag like this. Save it. Let's see. Will it actually work or not? It does not really work somewhere. It's okay. So it's alright. That's fine. Let me see here. Technically it should work if I was to do a because it's an SVG image, but because it's an SVG image, don't like the way that's done fully. I wish I had that green logo, which is fine. Okay, which is always fine. Okay, so it's okay. So that did not work, guys. A lot of times in SVG images, you can actually modify the SVG image itself to make sure it works, which is fine. But I think for now, we'll just leave it at that. We don't have to modify the color of the SVG image for now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So we'll leave it at that for now. Well, the only thing I'm going to do is for the footer, I'm going to say display flex on this one. Of course, right? To make sure it's like that. And I'm going to give it a flex direction of column. There we go. All right. Because why? Because later on, I'm going to create the next thing, which is if I go to my here, I have to create the menu. So I'm going to create the menu here. Div class is equal to, I'm going to give it a navigation, a footer navigation. Navigation like this. Okay. And of course, it's going to have a few things. One, a span for about. Second, span for services. The third, span for projects, like this. Everybody see that? And of course, if we zoom in, we're gonna get the colors of the actual text. So if I zoom in here, it's like very like light green. So if I do color serp right here, you see it's a very light green color right here. It's like darker slash right here. It's about this color. So Command C. Right. So if I go to footer navigation, if I go to Style CSS, I'm gonna say dot footer dash navigation. Okay. I'm going to focus on this one. Let's say color of this right here. Boom. Awesome. Sweet. Save that. Let's see where that takes us now. There we go. So now we have the footer navigation. Again, it's all kind of, you know, jumbled up, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. I can actually make it a little bit maybe darker right here. That's okay. Then I'm going to center horizontally. So because we use display flex, we can use align items center to center horizontally right there. See? And then I can even do to center it vertically. We can do like this. We can say justify content also center. Boom. See right there. Okay. But I don't actually want to justify content center because I want this to depend more so on the padding section, right? So for example, the logo, if you look at it here, has a lot of padding on the top section, right? So for example, the logo here, right? That's that logo. I can say, hey, now this is margin top, and I'm going to like, let's just say it's almost like literally 70 pixels right there. Why? Because that's just how it is. So for example, if I go to here, see, logo is now here. Okay. For navigation, I can do also margin top, maybe 50 pixels to make it a little bit less right there, right? So now it's kind of that. Okay. Because if you look at it here, you see it's kind of very high. So for example, this might be 70. Maybe this is actually 50. This is maybe about, I would say 30. Right there. Yeah, it's about better. Okay. I'm going to give the for navigation a font weight of bold. And then nice, good. And then I'm going for every single navigation section. I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to say dot for navigation dash navigation. And for this one, I will do the following. I will say, let me see here. I will say for navigation, I'm going to go to the span. So the span is every single text, which is this one, about, services, projects. And I will say, hey, you know what? I want to give it a padding all around it. So I'm going to say padding here. Padding of, let's just say, of 4 pixels. Or maybe let's just say 8 pixels. Oh, because I spelled navigation wrong. Right there. There we go. Looking much better now, guys. Okay, much better. Nice. Let's move forward. And the next thing we have these, I call them, what do we call it? Social media icons? Thank you, Selena. Social media icons, right? So we'll say the next div is going to be what div? Class is equal to social media. Right there, right? And so within that, I'm going to create a few images now. So within that, I'm going to create a few images. I'm going to say, and I can actually upload those images. So let me see, I'm going to go to the downloads here again. Right here, images. So we have a few, we have a few icons, Facebook icon, we have the Instagram icon, the Pinterest icon. So I'm going to say this Instagram and then Facebook, and I'm going to copy and paste this into here, into my images assets folder. Boom. Beautiful right there. Awesome, guys. You see that? Sweet. Beautiful. We got that section. So we have the Facebook icon, the Instagram icon. Let me see how it looks like. Wow, it's just an SVG icon, which is fine. But now we can use them though. So to use them, I'm going to say image source is equal to, right here, close this out. Boom, close this out. And I will say dot/assets icon. Let's just say Facebook for now. Let's see how this looks like. Let's go to here. Hey, that looks great. Next icon, image source equals which one? Assets. And I'm going to say which one? Icon, which is going to be Instagram. Instagram right here. Beautiful, guys. Next one after that is going to be image source, right? Assets. And I say the following. I say icon. What is it? Twitter. Close this one out. And then finally, the last one here, guys. Image source is equal to assets. Icon. Pinterest. Boom. Done. So now we have 4 icons. If we take a look at this, right? They're all kind of jumbled up together. Don't worry about it, right? For this one, I'm going to give it a number 1, a header, a margin top. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to say dot footer, and social media, dot social media dash media right here. And I will say margin top also is going to be about what, 30 pixels. There we go. Nice. And I'm going to space them out. What do I do to space out all these icons? Can somebody tell me? Give me a hint here. What I want to do is I want to space out all these little icons. Give me a hint here. What would I do, guys? Tell me. Anybody? You guys know at this point. You guys know. I'm going to target which specific. Yeah, that's right. Add padding. That's right. So I'm going to say dot social media. So social media. I'm going to say the images within there, right? I'm targeting the images, and I'm going to say padding, what? Maybe like 4 pixels. There you go. Now, the cool thing now, what I can do, guys, is I can remove this height. You see, remember how we had this height on the footer? Remember this height on the footer? Let's remove this height. You see? And instead of using this height, I can say the social media or the footer or the what's it called? The footer padding bottom. Guys, the footer padding bottom can now be maybe, let's just say 50 pixels. See? Right there. And same thing goes with the sunny side, the padding top. So if I do padding top here, why am I doing this? Because I'm saying like this. I'm saying here. I'm saying here is my footer. And I want to put any content within here and within here. So padding top and then padding bottom. That's it. So now in my case, I say padding top and I say 50 pixels as well. Okay. That means on the actual logo portion, I do not need this right here. Save that. And there you go, my friends. Now we have ourselves. Next thing we can do is we can change the spans to actually just be to feel like links. So I can do, hey, you know what? We're going to say here, cursor pointer right there. And I can even do in a way where if I hover over this, it feels like it's also doing something. So if I, of course, here, nothing happens here. But I can do it where on the hover of the span. So let's do this right here. Right? On the hover of the span hover, I can say color. What color you guys want to change it to? What color do you guys want to change it to? Maybe like a lighter color potentially? Maybe like a lighter color. Let's see. Let me see here. Oh, right here. See? Right there. Actually, more darker color right there. See? So right here. So we, my friends, have it right there. Now, when I hover this, it's right. It looks pretty good right here. We got ourselves the logo. The one thing I don't like is this. You see this little border. I don't know why that's the case. Let me see here. Actually, I know why. Let me see here. So, let me see. So the reason you see the reason we have this border is actually because of the height of the actual images. So for example, let me take a look at it here. It's actually one examples. Okay, that's fine. Let me say overflow hidden, maybe? No, necessarily. How to make sure it fits the whole thing is my question. So we have these little icons, we just don't like the fact that they're all so, not the way they should be. Let me see here. If I go to my these example containers here, okay, example containers here. That's really interesting. Why is that the case? Why is it not doing it where is it maybe align item center? No, that's not gonna help at all. Everybody know why that's the case. Why do we have this border right here at the bottom? This border. It's given it a bigger height than it's supposed to. That's why. Can anybody guess why it's the case? Why I think it's given it a border that's not supposed to be there? Anybody? Just curious. What do you guys think? So I have an idea. I think it's actually. Let me see if I say it like this. If I say and then the height. Auto. I don't think it's the div, honestly. I don't think it's the div. The div has nothing to do with this. I mean, I can't give it a height of 100%. Can't do that. I can't do that, guys. And I can do object fit here. You know, I can do object fit of, let's just say, you know, cover. I mean, there you go. That pretty much fit. Yeah, that pretty much fixed it. So for some reason, it was not taking up the height, but it's weird because the height of this div depends. It can be a little weird sometimes because the height of this div, you know, depends on the image. So if the image is small, it's gonna image is big, it's gonna be bigger. So as you see, for example, here, see the images become smaller, right? You see, so the height actually depends on the actual image itself. You guys see that? That's right. So my friends, my friends, have pretty much finished everything. We've got ourselves the what? Look at this. We've got ourselves a landing page. We have ourselves the banner, right? We have ourselves the transform your brand. We have ourselves the graphic design portion, the photography portion. We have the testimonials portion, right? We have ourselves this portion. And we have ourselves the footer. So, what could we left to do? Well, I could make this more complicated. Of course, I can make sure this testimonials is correct, make sure that we have different images, but I want you guys to work on that for your homework, right? I could also make sure that, well, we have this correctly set, and I can also make sure that we can also make this work as well. So this we can work as well together. But I want to make that a homework as well. Okay. So for you mainly, what I want to focus on right now is let's actually make this page live, right? We have our index.html, we have our content, we have our application. Let's make it live. Are you guys ready? Yes or no? We've got the application. It's there right there. Let's put this live on the website for all you guys to see it. Yes? Beautiful. That is what I am talking about. So let's go ahead. All right. What I want you guys to do is let's go ahead and open up a company called Netlify. So Netlify, everybody can do that right now. So let's go to Netlify right now. Netlify is an amazing, easy way for you guys to deploy, very simple, applications. Okay, very simple HTML sites. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up. I already have a login page. You guys can log in if you want to. But I actually already have a login. But you guys want to go ahead and log in. I'm going to log in with my I can use GitHub. That's fine. Hey, look at that. See, I have all these different sites. I can do sites. Okay. Builds, plugins, domains. There's so much you guys can do, okay? There's so much you guys can do to actually make sure it's all well built. So for us to go ahead and add a new site, it's actually pretty simple, right? Basically, all you would do is just drag and drop your folder. So for example, when we create the project here, we have this landing page. Everybody see that? To make it work, all you do is grab this whole folder, the whole folder you use, drag it. You want to go to sites right here, right? You see the sites? You see how there's this box right here for dragging stuff? You know, drag this whole folder and then put it into here. And that's going to upload. It's going to do the magic for you. And guys, in a split second, it uploaded the whole application. So we take a look at it right now. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It's right there. Now, yes, we have a few issues with this whole cutting up section, and we can fix on that. We can work on that. Make sure this is all good. Don't worry. But look, it's right there. Ooh, look at that, guys. It is live for us. Let me know if you guys put it live. Please let me know if you guys made it live. Please put the link down below in the description, down below in the chat. Anybody here who finished it partially? Anybody here? Raise your hand if you finished, or say yes in the chat if you finished it fully, or if you finished it with me. Please say yes in the chat. I'm really curious. All right. So for Lucas, if you finished it, You have to make it live. Let's see it, my friends. Those of you who are on YouTube, try it out, guys. Try out to finish it and put it live. In the meantime, while you guys are doing it, I'm going to help you guys out and figure out, okay, how do we make this potentially more mobile friendly, okay, while you guys are playing live. But you guys, look, we finished the project. You guys made it live. Now, let's go ahead and maybe make it a little bit more mobile friendly so that it's not as crazy. Hey, Lucas, nice job. Nice job, Lucas, my friend. Let me go take a look at this. Oh, I mean, it's a little bit, okay. I like it. I like it. There's some stuff we need to fix, but it's okay. I like it. That's awesome. Look at this. Nice job on this one too. We got, oh, damn, we have a humongous Instagram icons. Humongous icons. Who else did it? Let me see. Oh, look at that. Nice job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Woo. Beautiful. I see some of you guys had to reuse some images. For some reason, your image for photography, look, why does your image work and mine does not? Is there a reason why this does not work? What is this? This is not fair. It's not fair at all. I don't get it. Yeah, I need the link again where you click to add to Netlify. So the which link? So if you go to Netlify, my friends, let me see. If you go to Netlify, let me show you. So go to Netlify, right? Once you've logged in, let me go back to here. Once you've logged in Netlify, go to sites, right? And then just simply drag and drop the folder, my whole folder with all of my stuff, right? I look at my folder, landing page. Drag and drop your whole folder, this whole folder, and just put it inside here. And that's it, guys. That's all you need to do. That's it. So now, I want to do one last thing with you, okay? I want to do one last thing, which is I want to talk about how do we make this a little bit more mobile friendly, okay? This mobile side more mobile friendly, right? How do we make sure that maybe this section goes in the bottom, right? And so forth. So there you go. Yeah, nice job. Nice job, Sam. Nice job. Good. Beautiful. All right, let's continue, guys, forward, okay? Let's continue on. I want to kind of help us make this even better, all right? All right, so the way for us to, guys, to make sure that we are making this more mobile friendly is going to be using something called media queries. So if I show you media queries, let me show you media queries right here, right? These are media queries that basically allow you to figure out, okay, at which point, do I actually, change the CSS, right? So if I show you, like, there are some standardized media queries that we can use. So if I go ahead and media rules, let me see here, right there. There's media rules for 600 pixels. There's media rules for many different ones, right? But let's go and find some standard media queries. The one good one that we can look for is, you can see there's here. Look at that. Nice. Beautiful. Mozilla. Nice. Beautiful. These are some examples of media queries here. But the one good one you can look for is actually using Bootstrap. Bootstrap has an amazing way of knowing which media queries you actually want to use for which data types, for which types of media. May that be, for example, maybe a computer, may that be a laptop, may that be, what's it called? A tablet, stuff like that. I'm trying to find for you guys a W3 media query specifications here. Devices right here. So for example, if I have here for laptops, so we have some standard media queries and we have some media queries, for example, let's just say for tablets. So as we get smaller, let's just say we go for tablets, okay? So you can see media only screen. This is, for example, for tablets, or let's just say portrait landscape. Doesn't matter. Let me actually use Bootstrap here. Let me use Bootstrap media queries, guys. So all you guys can see it, okay? Right here. So right here, what is this right here? So this is basically for small devices and so forth. So, okay. So if we have here, this is basically saying, hey, for the min width of 576 pixels, we're going to do something. Then here for the min width of this, we're going to do something like that and so forth. So you can see that's kind of how we do it. Let me see here. We occasionally use media queries that go in the other direction. So it's all basically done for you. Here we have for small devices, for medium devices like tablets, and then we have for large devices. So if you want to specify something, here's how you would do it. Let's just say that we have for medium devices where the max width of, or just say small devices, for example. I'm going to copy literally just this, media max width. Okay, I'm going to copy this. I can put it for you guys to keep here. Boom. All right. I will go to my Style CSS, and in here, I will paste a media query. And of course, inside these 3 dots, you want to delete those 3 dots. You don't want that. What this is saying, hey, is let's change the CSS for if the max width is 767.98 pixels. Basically, for screens, the max width is this, all right? Here's what I'll do. Well, let's think about this. And for the screens that are max width of 767, let's take a look at it. If the screen becomes small, what should we do with this egg, guys? And the way I pay attention is if you look at this little corner right here, look at this little corner right here. Right? Look at this little corner. Let me show you. Look at this corner. You guys can see as I'm decreasing the size, right? See right there. There. So what should happen is at 767, maybe it's not even enough. Maybe we need to go for extra small devices. Is we can do things based on, you know, how small you want it to get. So let's just say you want to change it for really small devices. Let's just say you want to do something for really, really small devices. Let me go to Bootstrap. I'm going to go for these devices, 575. Instead of this, I'm going to say 575 instead of there. Delete these 3 dots. Boom. Save that. Okay. Amazing. Sweet. Okay. And for this specific one, what I'll do is I'm going to make sure that this, instead of, you see how this egg needs to really go not from left to right, but from top to bottom. So what I'll do is, what do we say on this left and right? Remember how we said the section 1? For 1, we had what? Section 1, this section 1, left and right, okay? Section 1, let me look at this one. Section 1, right? You see display flex. Well, what would I do to make sure it goes from top to bottom if I do display flex? So if I do here, I'm going to say section 1. And what I will say here is, the only thing I'm going to change is flex direction. So I'm going to say flex direction, column, guys. So that means if I go really small, oh, you see what happened here? It went to a column. But because it went to a column, what does that mean? Right away, you know, there's a max width that a specific, that section 1 has. So for example, if we go to section 1, there's specific height that they have. So if you look at it here, see there's a height of 350 pixels. Well, that's where I can change that. I can actually say height auto. So if I go to height here, I can say height auto. Boom. You see? So that means that transform your brand and the height and can now all be all okay. So now the way we can see it is like, now of course transform your brand. That means we can now need to add some padding and top padding and bottom padding to these specific sections right here. That means for the section 1 left, section 1 dot left, I'm going to give it a padding top. Let's just say padding bottom of maybe, let's just say 20 pixels. And same thing with padding top. Of also 20 pixels. Right? Right there. See right there. So now we have this egg, right? This just went from what? From here to now here. You see? Boom. It just transformed. Just really quickly, it transformed really quickly. Or you can even make it in a way where you fully remove this egg. You can say dot right is display none. You see that, guys? So what I will encourage you guys, this is how you use media queries. I would encourage you for your homework today, right? And I'm going to give you homework right now here, guys, is to fix this in a way where you use media queries to also make it mobile friendly. You know, for example, if we have 3 clients here, you can make it where they go from horizontal view to vertical. You have 1 client here, then you have another one on the bottom, as you get to a smaller screen. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up, please. Make sense? Yes. That's what we do if we want to make it like that, okay? Same thing for this. For maybe when you go to here, maybe you want to hide this whole thing. Maybe when it goes to a mobile-friendly site, you want to hide this whole thing, right? So it really depends on what you want to do. And you can check it out is even in the mobile design, it's even specified here. Mobile design right here. Look at this, guys. See? You can see the mobile design is right here. So we can also go by the way they do it to make sure that we're doing it correctly. Right here, right? So for example, let me ask you this question. For example, you see these 4 images. How to make sure that these 4 images are actually properly correct, where it's like 4 squares? Anybody know? Well, let's take a look at it. I want to show you guys. Okay. If I want to change that, let's just say I go back to here, my sunny side. I want to change these 4 images to where if I go to a really small page, it becomes 4 images. Not like this, but 4 images. Really simple. Let's go to our, what is it? Examples. You see what controls the width of our images is this right here, guys. Flex. So now, if I go to examples, now if I say div, for really small things, I'm going to say, instead of 0.5, I'm going to say 0.5. Right? And though it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So I'm going to say flex wrap. Wrap. Okay. Let me see here. Flex wrap. Flex 0.5. I'm going to say maybe width of 50%. Or flex basis of 50%. Let me see. Flex basis. Is it applying correct or no? Let me see here. Not like it. Inspect down on this one. We have div section examples. I'm gonna say flex wrap. So I'm gonna say like this. Dot examples. Flex wrap. Hey, let's go right there. See? So it was all because of the flex wrap. No, it has to also have the flex basis as well. Right there. So flex basis is saying, hey, what is the min width of these specific images? And what we're saying here is the following. We're saying, hey, you know what? We're the container, we're saying the following. We're saying, hey, for the container right here, allow the images to wrap. Because otherwise, the way flex works is if you don't wrap it, let me show you, it will try to always put it into the from left to right section, always. But if I say flex wrap, it will then wrap it from one side to another. So it will then wrap from here to the next line, okay? That's a lot. This right here is just one example of showing you how it will work if we go to small, right? And so now if you go back to a normal thing, you go back to its normal, you see? But if like this, boom. Everybody see that? Yes or no? Everybody see that? Beautiful. Next thing, for example, what we can do is, well, let's take a look at this, for example. Let's look at these client testimonials. Same thing. What do you guys think? What would you do to change this client testimonial? Anybody know? I want you guys to put in the chat, please. Put in the chat, what would you do to make sure these client testimonials go from like this to down to here? What would you do? Tell me. I'm going to wait for you guys to figure this one out. What would you think? What would I do? Padding and flex. That's right. Padding, flex, wrap. And also what? Change what? Padding, flex, wrap, and what? And remember, the flex direction is currently this way. That's right. And flex direction. So if I go to my clients, for example. Let's look at clients here. You see clients right there, clients. So what I'm going to do for the clients, I will say the following. I will say dot clients. I'm going to say flex direction, column. Boom, right there. See, it right away goes to a column. And then I'm going to say dot clients client. Dot client, and I'm going to give it a specific, margin top, for example. Let's just say margin top. of, let's just say, 10 pixels. Maybe even more. For example, let me see, how does Fundamentor like it? Yeah, I think there needs to be more spacing for sure, 100%. So I'm gonna say margin tab, client, next direction column. Let's see here. Oh, what happened here? It went back to its normal state for some reason. Let me see here. Okay, really small. There we go. Nice job. Give it maybe 50 pixels. There we go. Now we have 50 pixels. We have client testimonials just like this. You see, now we're making it mobile friendly. See what I mean? What else is there, guys? Let's see. What else is there, guys? Let me see. For example, again, now if we go back to here, these images also go from top to bottom as well, right? If we can make this more friendly, we'll make that to top to bottom as well. As you can see, it's starting to look a lot better, right? And that, my friends, is pretty much it. What I want you guys to do for homework is, as we go back into this, I want you guys to make mobile friendliness with this section, for example. Make this section mobile friendly. And honestly, that's going to be your biggest goal. And you got this is already working, this is already working, and you can even make this a little bit better as well, too. So that's going to be your goal. Does that make sense, everybody? That is your Sunnyside landing page that you just built. You just built a landing page, guys. And this is not easy. It's much more complex than you might think, guys. And I know there's only like a few things that we did, but from this, you can put this in your portfolio. You can, of course, you can have a contact information later on, have a contact form, have maybe, you know, more things. We do need to fix this. So actually, I'm going to encourage you to do something is to try and fix what you can do here. Maybe fix this portion right here. The way to fix this portion is to convert this not to an image, but actually use the text. So for example, if you are actually going to download the application here, go to downloads here, go to the page main. You can see here that we got the cherries. Let me show you here. Desktop. Where's my cherries? My cherries right here. See? We can use those cherries instead of using the graphic design. So for example, if I was to do this with you, instead of you know, with you fully, here's how I would do it. One, I would upload the cherries, and I would also upload the, let me see here, the cherries and this one. So let's go ahead and actually let's do this together because I want to show you guys how to actually do this here. So because I don't like how it's, you see, when it's small, it's fine, but I don't like that. So to make that work, I'm going to go back to my assets folder. Oh, put it into the assets folder right here. Image header. So now we have what? Now we have the photography, and then we have the, which one? Let's see, header, photography. Let's see here, I'm gonna go back to it again. Pictures, projects. No, downloads right here. Page main. We have the photography, and we also want to download this graphic design. So I'm gonna put the graphic design one inside there too, right there. Okay, so we have photography, and then we have the graphic design, which is these ones, okay? Now we can use those, okay? So let's go back to our index.html. The way we would do that is the following. So if I now go ahead and if we look at our section 2, right, which is this section right here, the one section that we do need to fix, okay? If you look at it now, well, this left section is gonna have an actual background color and background image, because if you look at it, right, this whole thing is a background image. I'll remove this for you guys. This whole thing is a background image, and then this text just on top of the background image. So the background image has a few things. One, it has a header, so H1, header for a graphic design, right? And then there's a P tag, okay? So there's P tag right here, okay? P tag right here. And inside this P tag, of course, we have some text. So the text that they have in here is great design makes you memorable. So for example, we can say great design makes you memorable. Memorable dot we deliver artwork underscores that underscores your brand message and captures potential clients' attention. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that for now. I just want to show you an example here. So let's go back to our application here. And you can see it's, again, this completely just transformed everything we need to do. All right, that's okay. If I now go to my section 2, so let's go ahead and go my section 2 section, which is somewhere around here. Yeah, section 1, section 2 right here. I'm going to do dot section 2, right? And I'm going to say dot left, right? Dot left. Okay. For this one, I'm going to say background image is going to be URL. Again, it's going to be the assets. And for this one, it's going to be the first one, which is which one? That's the one that graphic design, correct? Or is it the photography one? I think it's the graphic design one. Save that. There you go. So that's the image right there, right? But of course, we don't want that. So what we want now instead is we're going to say, hey, background position is going to be centered horizontal, and then top from this right there. Okay. And then background size is going to be cover right there, guys. And there you go, right? So there we go. We got the stuff that we wanted to get right there, right? So now we've got that there. We can put the text underneath that. So for the text section, I'm going to say now the following. Display flex, we know this already. Display flex, okay. I'm gonna say flex direction column to make sure it goes from top to bottom. Beautiful. And then how do I make sure it goes from top to bottom, but it actually goes all the way to the bottom of this div? What do you guys think? If I want to take this text, I want to take this whole thing. Instead of being here at the top, I want to put it all the way to the bottom. What do you guys think? What can we use? That's right, Lucas, align bottom. So if I do, for example, here, if I do one, let's center it horizontally. So I'm going to say align items center right here, right there, centers it horizontally, which is exactly what we want, right? And then in terms of vertical alignment, I'm going to say justify content. Not left, not right, but it's actually going to be the start. No, actually going to be the end. Let me see, end. No, flex end. Right there, guys. You see what I just did? I put it all the way to the end, flex end. So remember, I said, hey, flex end, put it all the way to the bottom, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what we wanted it to do, right? Next thing for this, the left, the P tag is left is going to be dot section 2, dot left. Also the P tag now. I'm going to say text align center. Text align center. Boom. See, that centers the whole text. Let's now work on the actual way which you're supposed to, which is let's work on the font size, and let's work on also the colors, right? So if you look at the color here, if I do my color slurp, right? When it's going to be this darker color right here, looks like. I'm going to copy this color, and I'm going to say for the H1 tag, the section 2, H1 tag, I'm going to give it a specific color. Color of this one, right? So it's a little bit different, right? Maybe a little bit darker, I feel like it should be a little bit darker. I'm going to give it a font size of smaller font size. Oh, font size 16 pixels. Am I doing this right? Font size 16 pixels for font size. So, no? Okay. I think it's partially because might be rewriting this inside here. You see that right there? So if I actually put the section 2. So here's what I do. Sometimes, guys, you see how we have font size 12 pixels and it's not really affecting this piece of text, as you can see, right? And it's because it's actually being overwritten by this. It's being overwritten somewhere by another one, which is more down there. So what I can do sometimes is if you want to overwrite it, we can actually copy or cut the whole section to h1, go all the way to the bottom, and then you will for sure, what is this way? Then you will for sure change the text. Look at this. See, right there. See? I just changed it. Just like that. I'm going to give it a font weight bold. Right there. Awesome. Sweet. That looks good. Exactly what I want. And then I'm going to also change the actual P, the P tag. So let's go back to our section 2P. Let me see. Dot section 2P. P. I don't have that here in that case. I will create it in that case my own. It looks like I do not have a section 2P. So I'm going to do that section 2. Actually, no, I do have it. Let me see. I'll go to the top. That's section 2, guys. Section 2, section 2, section 2, section 2. Where is it? Section 2. Right there. That left that P, right? Let's go ahead and change the color of this one to be the color that we have here. So let's do a color, right? Also, same thing. It's going to be more of a darker color right here as well. Right here. Color, blah, blah, blah. You have like this color right here. Just like that. Boom. Right there. Right, okay. I'm going to give it a font weight bold. Bold. There we go. There we go. And so now it kind of looks a little bit more. I need to decrease the actual font size. I think it's a bit too much for a font size actually. So font size, decrease the font size and decrease the line height as well. So font size, I want to say 14 pixels. Okay, and again, because of the fact that we're changing the font size somewhere down bottom, I'm going to take this and I'll take it all the way to the bottom right here. And cut it and then put it all the way here. Is it even less than? There we go. Nice. Okay, beautiful. Then you see how it stretches all the way right here. Well, what I can do is I can give the P tag actually a specific width. So I can say width, let's just say of only 80%, or let's just say it's at 50%. Right there. That makes it right there. And so my friends, that's it. There we go. So we have the graphic design portion right here. You see, and now it will never just change like this. It's actually will always be there the way it's supposed to be. You guys see that? While this goes away, this will always be the way it's supposed to be. You guys see that? Yes or no? That's it, my friends. You can do the same exact thing with actually this photography portion as well. The exact same thing. The exact same thing. And I encourage you to actually try that by yourself fully. Okay, guys? Other than that, my friends, that is pretty much it. We made the application live. We've got testimonials. It is partially more friendly. And I encourage you guys, of course, to make it more friendly. Let's now go into the homework, guys. For those of you who are on YouTube, guys, this was your landing page. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, stay tuned tomorrow because tomorrow we're building a JavaScript game. So come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. PST and we'll see you guys there. On YouTube, I hope you guys have a great day and we'll see you guys in the next video, which is tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.